Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the interdependence between the economies of the northern states and the southern states. So we already talked a little bit about how in the north they had established factories and railroads, all kinds of industry, much more industrialized than in the south. The south, they had really stuck with their planting, their plantations, slavery, mostly because of the success of the cotton plant. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to look at how cotton and slavery in the South was really still connected to factories in the North. A lot of Northerners wanted to get rid of slavery. They really thought that the abolition movement was their call. But a lot of Northerners really saw the writing on the wall and were a little bit worried that if you got rid of slavery and cotton plantations, that you would also hurt the North's industry as well. So we're going to take a look at kind of why that is today. So there's a couple things that you're going to have to do. The first is just to look through the readings that are on the assignment. There's six kind of little pieces of it. Generally, how I do it is that there's one in each group, and you guys spend about 10 minutes at each one as you rotate around, just reading the passage and answering the simple questions. The first three passages deal with life in the South, in on the plantation, growing cotton, what it was like. The second three, the last three, deal with life in the North. What were these factories? What did they do in it? Who worked these factories? That kind of thing. Once you have answered the questions for each of the little readings on the slides, there is two additional things that you need to do. One of them is fill out this kind of Venn diagram that you see here, that you'll see on one of the slides. And really what it's doing is just asking you kind of to list everything about Southern cotton, everything about Northern factories, and then in which way, for the middle, how is it that they're interdependent? Okay, how do they depend on each other? Pretty straightforward. This one on the last page is is your last slide as well, and it just kind of gives you the cycle, right? How is it cotton? If it starts here, what happens where then it goes here, here, and here? Okay, yours looks slightly different than this, but it's essentially the same thing. It's basically describe that cycle for me, right? Describe first the cotton is planted, then this happens, then this happens, then this happens. Okay. Make sure for your test that you really understand this process, how the two sides needed each other, and the journey that cotton took from the south to the north. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email or come to our session on Big Blue Button.